I've asked people about detention centres. They tell me they're more like prisons, but the difference is they're for men, women and children. It's this church at St Nicholas of Tolentino in Easton where John Patrick is able to reflect and find peace and share feelings with others who truly understand. And it was from this place of sanctuary that life took an unexpected turn.
Take up your position, stand firm, and see what salvation the Lord has in store for you. Judah and Jerusalem, be fearless, be dauntless, march out against them tomorrow, and the Lord will be with you.
Earlier we passed a police station and you were telling me that it evokes so many emotions you didn't even want to walk past. Tell me why. So just take your time and breathe.
Yeah, just leaving this place one morning, I came and went to be accompanied by somebody to lovely people who offer some signing support. And we crossed over the zebra crossing there from this building, the church building, into Trinity. When we got into the police station, and I said, I have come in to sign, and the person who was giving the escort with me was with me. She stood beside me and I bent to sign, and before I knew it, when I stood up, some two people had put their hands on my shoulder, each side of my shoulders, and said, hey, you're coming with us, mister. And they took me behind. They through another door into the cells, and the person who came with me was asked me what we should do, and I said, just go and say to Father Richard that I have been detained.
To look at John Patrick, you may not recognise any mental scars, but while he continues to wait to hear his fate, he can't help reflecting on what happened to him in detention.
It felt like I was being sentenced to death when I was taken from the police station just here to detention, because I was being taken away from my place of safety to the gallows. That's the way I felt, like, you know, I was going to be hanged, and that is basically how it felt.
Father Richard Mackay, parish priest at St Nicholas, is consistently appalled by the way people are treated by the Home Office.
We rightly stopped in Parliament detention without trial of terrorists. And no one is campaigning against detention, not only without trial, but without a crime. They have committed no crime other than to come to this country with their story of trauma, asking for freedom.
I contacted the Home Office for a response, but they were not able to comment at this stage. John Patrick recalls being taken to Heathrow, and as ill and weak as he was, all the while being treated like he was dangerous.
I had lost all my civil liberty. I had not been arrested before for any crime in any part of the world. And to be taken into a cell and not have nothing. They took my mobile phone away, which I still remember. And they took, you know, almost being stripped completely. And then I was transferred through the back door into a detention centre in Harmondsworth, near Heathrow. And that was, at that point, was probably the most traumatic experience of my life. and you're put in a small cubicle, about 5 by 8, with my kind of knowledge in mathematics in building, and then to be put with a stranger, another person who actually didn't speak any English. I think he told me he was Chinese, say China. And that was not very easy because he was also very, very ill, and he would sit down and cough on the bed for about 45 minutes, and I almost became his carer. I was taken through a very traumatic procedure of being stripped, checking and all those things, which I totally understand for security reasons. But I don't think it was necessary for somebody who had been checked and rechecked. And I don't even think I needed the security escort of 6, 7 people to go with me when I was very ill and weak. And to be driven into a secure vehicle, into Heathrow. And I wasn't even taken through the main procedures, like the main gates. I was taken through some other procedure which I thought wasn't familiar because I had traveled before as a business, professional.
After he'd boarded the plane riddled with pain and ready to meet his fate, he told me an official told him he was free to go. But they allowed you to leave the plane?
And I stood up and I realized I couldn't stand. All my joints and everywhere I was feeling really weak. And I struggled to go down, but the same people who were very, very unhelpful in the beginning now then turned to kind of seem to care a lot and say, oh, be careful, and they were holding me by both sides very tenderly, as opposed to when they were holding me from the back of my belt. Even to go to the loo, I had to go to the toilet with somebody holding me from the back, which was very, very humiliating for me.
So, had that plane taken off with you and it had arrived in the Horn of Africa, what do you think would have happened?
I'll probably be dead. I probably would have taken my life.
Where are we supposed to put all these people? We're running out of room. We are an island, we're not a country.
Tomorrow on The Hot Seat, we look at the growing army of everyday people who are not falling for the rhetoric. And we also talk exclusively to the legal representative who's been on both sides of the political argument. We look at his truth, but this is my truth about asylum.